Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. So yesterday we discussed how Srila Prabhupada got initiated. His initiated name was Abhay Charanaravind. And he was home, he was preaching, but his wife would not cooperate in preaching. Her idea, like last line said, her idea was just to worship the deity at home and live peacefully. My idea was preaching. So further it says now. It was not possible for Abhay to travel with his spiritual master, even to see him often. His pharmaceutical business kept him busy, and he traveled frequently. Whenever possible, however, he tried to time a business trip to Calcutta when his spiritual master was also there. Thus, over the next 4 years, he managed to see his spiritual master perhaps a dozen times. Whenever Abhay visited Calcutta, the assistant librarian at the Gaudiya Mutt, Nityanand Brahmachari, would meet him at the Howrah train station with a 2-horse carriage belonging to the Mutt. Nityanand saw Abhay as an unusually humble and tolerant person. As they rode together to the Mutt, Abhay would inquire eagerly into the latest activities of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. His traveling, his publishing, how many centers were currently open, how his disciples were doing. They wouldn't talk much about Abhay's business. Abhay would stay at the Gaudiya Mutt, usually for about 5 days. Sometimes he would visit one of his sisters who lived in Calcutta, but his main reason for coming was Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. And Abhay would take advantage of every opportunity to hear him. Abhay didn't try to become a leader in the inner management of the Gaudiya Mutt. His spiritual master had initiated 18 sannyasis who carried out most of the preaching and leadership of the mission. Abhay was always a householder, occupied with his own business and family, never living within the Mutt except for brief visits. And yet he began to develop a close relationship with his spiritual master. Sometimes Abhay would go to see him at the Chaitanya Mutt, at the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya in Mayapur. One day at the Chaitanya Mutt, Abhay was in the courtyard when a large poisonous snake crawled out in front of him. Abhay called out for his god brothers, but when they came, everyone simply stood looking, uncertain what to do. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta came out on the veranda of the second floor, glanced down, saw the snake, and immediately ordered, "Kill it." A boy then took a large stick and killed the snake. Srila Prabhupada. So I thought, how is it that Guru Maharaj ordered the snake to be killed? I was a little surprised, but later on, I saw this verse, and then I was very glad. Modeta sadhurapi vrishchika sarpahatya. Even saintly persons take pleasure in the killing of a scorpion or a snake. It had remained a doubt how Guru Maharaj ordered the snake to be killed. But when I read this verse, I was very much pleased that this creature, or creature like the snake, should not be shown any mercy. Why? Later, one place Prabhupada explained that the snake and scorpions, they have so much of poison inside that they can attack without being disturbed. They have poison, there's also envy is also called poison. So they have so much of poison. Envious person, really, really envious person, it takes birth, next birth as a snake. There's so much of poison. They can attack somebody without being disturbed. So it's not a karma, not a sin to kill a snake, even if he hasn't attacked you. Snake or a scorpion, vrishchik sarpa. Satya. Of course, Prabhupada says creatures like the snake should not be shown any mercy. So, scorpions also, they are very poisonous and they can bite, they can attack somebody. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta was reputed to be so austere and so strong in argument against other philosophies that even his own disciples were cautious in approaching him if he were sitting alone or if they had no specific business with him. Yet, even though Abhay contact with him was quite limited, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta would always treat him kindly. Srila Prabhupada says, whenever I met my Guru Maharaj, he would always treat me very affectionately. Sometimes my god brothers would criticize because I would talk a little freely with him. And they would quote this English saying, fools rush in where angels fear to tread. But I would think, fool? Well, maybe, but that's the way I am. My Guru Maharaj was always very, very affectionate to me. When I offered obeisances, he used to return, Das Vasmi. I am your servant. Sometimes as Srila Bhakti Siddhanta paced back and forth chanting the Hare Krishna mantra aloud while fingering his beads, Abhay would enter the room and also chant, walking alongside his spiritual master. Once when Abhay entered Srila Bhakti Siddhanta's room, his spiritual master was sitting on a couch, and Abhay took his seat beside him on an equal level. But then he noticed that all the other disciples in the room were sitting on a lower level at the spiritual master's feet. Abhay kept his seat, and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati said nothing of it. But Abhay never again sat on an equal level with his spiritual master. Once in a room with many disciples, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati was speaking and Abhay listening when an old man beside Abhay motioned to him. As Abhay leaned over to hear what the man wanted, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta suddenly spoke out in annoyance at the two apparently inattentive students. Babu, he first addressed the old man beside Abhay. Do you think you have purchased me with your 150 rupees per month donation? And then turning to Abhay, why don't you come up here and speak instead of me? Abhay was outwardly mortified, but he treasured the rebuke. So this is sadhu, real sadhu. Sadhu means one who cuts. See, cuts our entanglement with this material world. So even though that person, the old man, was giving 150 rupees per month donation, which at that time was quite a bit of money, still Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj didn't like the disturbance in the class. And he chastised Prabhupada also. So that is real sadhu. Not the one who just wants to please his disciples or who want to do or say whatever the disciples want. That's not a sadhu. It was in a private meeting that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta once told Abhay of the risks he took by preaching so boldly. Srila Prabhupada, my Guru Maharaj's contribution is that he defeated the caste Goswamis. He defeated this Brahmanism. He did it the same way as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Kiba Vipra Kiba Nyasi Shudra Kinenaya. Hey, Jai Krishna Tattveta, say Guru Hai. There is no consideration whether one is a sannyasi, a brahman, a shudra, or a grihastha. No, anyone who knows the science of Krishna, he is all right. He is a Goswami and he is a brahman. But no one else taught that since Lord Chaitanya. This way, my Guru Maharaj's contribution, this was my Guru Maharaj. And for this reason, he had to face so many vehement protests from these Brahmins of the caste Goswamis. Once they conspired to kill him, my Guru Maharaj told me personally, by his grace, when we used to meet alone, he used to talk about so many things. He was so kind that he used to talk with me, and he personally told me that these people, they wanted to kill me. They collected 25,000 rupees. Wow, that was a really big amount that time. And went to bribe the police officer in charge of the area, saying, you take these 25,000 rupees, we shall do something against Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, and you don't take any steps. He could understand that they wanted to kill him. So the police officer frankly came to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. Of course, we accept bribes and we indulge in such things, but not for a sadhu, not for a saintly person. I cannot dare. At least the police officer that time, he had some morals. Nowadays, everything goes. Money, that's so important, most important. So the police officer refused and said to my Guru Maharaj, you take care, this is the position. This was because he so vehemently protested. And he liked boldness in his disciples. Have I heard of an occasion when one of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati disciples had been very outspoken at a public meeting, yet had denounced a highly regarded Mayavadi monk as a foolish priest. The remark had caused a disruption at the meeting, and some of the disciples reported the incident to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, thinking he would be displeased that his disciple had caused a disturbance. But Srila Bhakti Siddhanta was pleased and remarked, he has done well. His displeasure occurred, rather when he heard of someone's compromise. Srila Prabhupada, when my Guru Maharaj was present, even big scholars were afraid to talk, even with his beginning students. My Guru Maharaj was called a living encyclopedia. He could talk with anyone on any subject. He was so learned. And no compromise. So-called saints, avatars, yogis, everyone who was false was an enemy to my Guru Maharaj. He never compromised. Some God brothers complained that this preaching was a chopping technique and it would not be successful. But those who criticized him fell down. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta was known as Simha or Lion Guru. On occasion when he saw someone he knew to be a proponent of impersonalism, he would call that person over and challenge. Why are you cheating the people with Mayavadi philosophy? He would often tell his disciples not to compromise. Why should you go flatter? He would say, you should speak the plain truth without any flattery. Money will come anyway. So this is the most important thing. Just speak the plain truth without any flattery, especially for the Mayavadis. Because generally people have these Mayavadi tendencies. They don't know, they might not know what is what. But if they're mostly listening to these kind of Mayavadi gurus, oh, we all are one, everybody is equal, and yes, everybody is equal spiritually, but consciousness is still different. And all these sorts of flattery language, flowery language that they use. The whole thing is, one should ask these so-called gurus, what is the relationship of soul with God? And what is our final destination, final goal of life? Then one will understand if the person is a Mayavadi or a devotee. And as Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj said, money will come anyway. Money comes when Krishna is pleased with our service. Radharani is pleased with our service. They can send money. What's the problem? Even if we don't want to displease anybody, but we should still speak the plain truth. In a palatable way, but speak the plain truth. Whenever Srila Bhakti Siddhanta wrote or spoke the Vaishnava philosophy, he was uncompromising. The conclusion was according to the Shastra and the logic strong. But sometimes Abhay would hear a spiritual master express the eternal teachings in a unique way that Abhay knew he would never forget. Don't try to see God. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta would say, but act in such a way that God sees you. Act in such a way, or do the service in such a way that God wants to see you. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta condemned temple proprietors who made a business of showing the deity for a living. To be a sweeper in the street was more honorable, he said. He coined a Bengali phrase, Shaligrama Dwara Badam Bhanga. The priests are taking the Shaligram deity as a stone for cracking nuts, badam. In other words, if a person shows the Shaligram form of the Lord or any form of the deity simply with the view to make money, then he's seeing the deity not as a Lord but as a stone, a means for earning his livelihood. And unfortunately, that is a common practice. Even if we go to big reputed temples, like in South India when we took that trip, and the priest, very important reputed temple there, and the priest was saying, okay, move, everybody moves, and we had a big group. I just showed that priest, I gave him 2,000 rupees donation. And then he said, yes, your group can take darshan as long as you want. So what is this? I mean, we had to give the donation anyway. I mean, of course, when we are taking darshan of the deity, this is the least we can do, give some donation. But that should not be the mood. Abhay had the opportunity to see his spiritual master deal with the nationalist of Subhash Chandra Bose, who had been Abhay's schoolmate at Scottish Churches College. Bose had come in a somewhat critical mood concerning about Srila Bhakti Siddhanta's recruiting young men into religious life. Srila Prabhupada, Subhash Chandra Bose came to my Guru Maharaj and said, so many people you have captured. They're doing nothing for nationalism. My Guru Maharaj replied, well, for your national propaganda, you require very strong men. But these people are very weak. You can see they're very skinny. So don't put your glance upon them. Let them eat something and chant Hare Krishna. In this way, he avoided him. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta used to say that when the day came when high court judges were devotees of Krishna with Vaishnav tilak on their foreheads, then he would know that the mission of spreading Krishna consciousness was becoming successful. So this actually Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that, and of course Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj followed it. And why the high court judges? Why not the political leaders be the devotees of Krishna with Vaishnav tilak? If such devotees show up in the parliament or Vidhan Sabha, what great contribution would that be? He said that Jesus Christ was a Shakti-Avesh avatar, an empowered incarnation of God. How can it be otherwise? He said he sacrificed everything for God. In his scholarly language, he declared the materialistic demeanor cannot possibly stretch to the transcendental autocrat. But sometimes in speech, he phrased it in a more down-to-earth way. The mundane scholars who are trying to understand the Supreme Lord by their senses and mental speculation are like a person trying to taste the honey in a bottle by licking the outside of the bottle. Philosophy without religion is dry speculation, and religion without philosophy is sentiment and sometimes fanaticism. So very important. Philosophy without religion is dry speculation. See, many times people like to say, or these so-called celebrities, oh, I am a spiritualist, I'm not a religionist. They just want to look cool. What is spiritualism? What is religionism? So spiritualism, one, either he is learning, reading scriptures, which obviously these celebrities are not. Or they must be doing some 5, 10, 15 minutes of meditation. And they call them spirituals. But they don't know anything about spirituality. Just by meditation for a few minutes a day, and rest of the time you're spending on sense gratification. How is that spirituality? And moreover, even if somebody is very, very spiritual, religion is practical application of that spirituality. Whatever we have gained in practice of spirituality, religion is when you practically apply it. So that is religion. Otherwise, it's dry speculation that this is this and that is that. And somebody just does religious practices without any understanding of philosophy, so that is sentimentalism. Both has to go together. And sentimentalism, and it becomes fanaticism because we have no knowledge, don't know what is what. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said that the whole world was simply a society of cheaters and cheated. He gave the example that loose women often visit certain holy places in India with the idea of seducing the sadhus, thinking that to have a child by a sadhu is prestigious. And immoral men dress themselves as sadhus, hoping to be seduced by the cheating women. His conclusion: a person should aspire to leave the material world and go back to Godhead, because this material world is not a fit place for a gentleman. So this should be our aspiration. Just leave the material world and go back to Godhead. Abhay saw that when disciples asked a spiritual master about something in the future, he never replied, yes, it's going to happen, or yes, we are going to do it. Rather, he would say, yes, if Krishna desires, it may be. Although in his younger years he had been an astrologer and able to predict the future, he had given it up. So, astrologer. He also knew astronomy. That is why he did some Surya Siddhanta. That's why he got the name Siddhanta, Siddhanta Saraswati. Also in whatever journals or science journals or research publications, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj's name is there in one of the things that he discovered one of the planets. I had to find out which planet it was, and his name is still there in the research publications as Bimla Prasad. So that is how learned he was. Okay, I guess we can stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments? Okay, I guess no class tomorrow because Wednesday is Radha Ashtami and I want to take rest early so I can get up early. So no class tomorrow. So you all enjoy Radha Ashtami. Happy Radha Ashtami. And see you on Thursday.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Jai Shri Radha.
Happy Radha Ashtami.
Thank you, Mata. Thank you all, everybody. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai
Jai
Shri.
Shri
Jai Shri.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.